From the large Texan city of Houston, it's MLS Next Pro action for Dynamo Dos on home soil. Making their way down from Missouri are the record-bearing St. Louis CITY2. They sit atop the Western Conference riding a historic unbeaten streak. But here at SaberCat Stadium, they'll be truly tested by a hungry Houston team looking to keep pace in the playoff race. Welcome one and all to this Sunday fixture on the MLS Next Pro web stream. My name is Mark Schoenster. We welcome you in for the broadcast. It was a bit rainy earlier today, but it looks to have cleared up. Just overcast for this matchup in Texas, the third meeting of the season between these two sides. Here's the starting lineup. First off for the home side for Marcelo Santos, a 4-2-3-1 with a lot of great options here. Nico Ramos, worth highlighting, loaned from Nacional B, the Uruguayan side. This will be his fourth game playing with this unit, and he brings a veteran presence. Despite his age of 20 years old, he just has experience, and he is providing it to these younger players that he is working with along that back line. And they're gonna have their hands full today because this is St. Louis CITY2 in the white kits. And boy, have they been firing on all cylinders all season long. 54 points this year for John Hackworth's unit, and this is the side he will be trotting out today. Missing a couple of key pieces, but still an incredibly strong unit, including in the back, one of the center backs, Michael Wenzel, a first-teamer who was part of the MLS Next Pro Best 11 last year in 2024 when they made the run all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Caden Glover will be at the top of the formation. He's got 2 goals this season. He'll be looking to channel his inner Makai Joyner, with Joyner absent from the second team right now. Our head official for this evening's match is Habib Hushman, the referee and crew in a pink uni today. A very vibrant pink shirt at that. I acknowledge the white kits of St. Louis CITY2. It'll be the home orange for Dynamo Dos. We are moments away from getting this one started here. It's around 80 degrees in Houston. Ultimately not bad weather to be playing the sport in. Sebastian Rodriguez, who will be getting this one started, donning the captain's armband for the home side. And Gabriel Makina will be the captain for St. Louis CITY2. And we're off and running here. 14 games straight unbeaten for St. Louis CITY2. One of the closest encounters they had during that run was against this Houston Dynamo 2 side. And now the fixture is here in Houston as opposed to the always raucous crowd in St. Louis. So will they be able to preserve that unbeaten streak, or will Dynamo Dos get a huge result at home in their endeavors to climb up the standings and hop above that playoff line? Currently on the outside looking in, but they are right on the doorstep. It's such a tight race in the Western Conference this season. And just think about how big a win against the best of the best does, not only for your spot in the standings, but also for your confidence going into the final full month of the season in September. Shaping up to be a pretty big game here this evening. Last time out for the home side was here at home, a 1-0 loss to the Town. So another difficult match there. It's a game played with thin margins. They had some opportunities in the second half to find a goal, and instead the visitors were the ones to score. This is a sport where every game is decided by just a couple of moments in the match. Marcelo Santos, the man in charge of Houston, said, well, that's the way the sport goes, but it's amplified against the top teams because you get even less chances. Although the 1-0 loss is disappointing, one key takeaway from that match that he felt was that his side played well, and they learned that they could compete with anybody in this league, and that includes their opponents today. He said we had 1 or 2 plays that we didn't make happen. but we made the whole 90 minutes difficult for the town. And the best part is they're still learning and growing, so the best footy is still ahead of them. And you want to be playing your best around this point in the season now. How will they handle what has been the cream of the crop in MLS Next Pro this season? There's Mateo Kidd, who will play it back to the center back pairing of McKenna and Vincel. Starting in goal today for St. Louis will be Colin Welsh, his 11th start of the season. 22-year-old goalkeeper from Overland Park, Kansas. Meanwhile, it's the usual for Houston. Pedro Cruz getting his 21st start of the season. Goalkeeper Wars champion this season. Kidd with a sliding challenge is able to keep possession for St. Louis. And now he's on the ball again. McSorley chips it back to the left for Kidd. Gitao will get on the ball along the touchline. And now it's rolled forward by Isaac Mwakutuya. Now some room for operation. Dynamo Dos pushing forward. Juan Viveros lets it fly, and it's ultimately a fruitless effort. Whether that was meant to be a shot or a cross, either way, unsuccessful. St. Louis CITY2 coming off a 3-0 win at home against Sporting Kansas City 2. 4,000 fans in attendance for that game. Always an electrifying atmosphere there in St. Louis. Really is just a soccer town. But in that match, John Hackworth, the man in charge of the team currently, telling me that Iko Para, who took over as the interim head coach for Sporting KC2, was a teammate with him at Wake Forest, and they both share a mentor of sorts when it comes to coaching in Jay Vidovich, who is currently the head coach of the University of Pittsburgh, which is always a contending program at the college ranks. He said going into that match, he knew that Kansas City were gonna play ball, and he decided to challenge his team and make them press for 90 whole minutes in that game. After this collision in the middle of the pitch once again. Two players going up into the air, McKenna and Tomas Romero. But John Hackworth challenging his side to full-on press for 90-plus minutes in that game. And he felt that his opponent, Sporting Kansas City 2, played really well, but he wanted to give credit to his players for committing to the pressing strategy. Obviously, that's an exhausting way to play. And here's our first booking of the evening. Tomas Romero with his 5th yellow card of the season. Just a little late there, stepping in recklessly.
Yellow card caution has been issued to number 10.
So Romero will have to play it cautious for the rest of this match. Just a couple minutes in, getting booked. It's not exactly what you're trying to do for yourself. Another one of the loanees on this Dynamo Dos team. Starting to get to the nitty-gritty of this season in MLS Next Pro. Pierce rolls it up the field to McSorley. It's well defended by Makutuya. Quickly taken, Ramos will blast it down the pitch. After this game, Houston Dynamo Dos only have 4 more matches to play, so it's turning into crunch time for the home team. Each of these matches so important. McSorley earns his side a corner kick. These games are certainly important, but especially when you're going to be up against teams that are also competing for playoff spots. They've got another tough matchup with Rapids too after this one, so a couple games against teams at the top of the Western Conference who are in a more comfortable position. So they haven't had to experience playing another team in that playoff desperation mode yet. Perez with the service on the corner. Headed down, and it trickles through. But the offside flag will go up. Mateo Kidd getting a piece of that one. He was right along the touchline, making him offside. There he is, and lo and behold, he certainly is offside. The only person, I should clarify, along the byline there, the only person along the goal line was the goalkeeper. All the other defenders had been stepped up. So Mateo Kidd waiting there to deflect the ball in. Certainly affecting the play from an offside position. So this one stays scoreless. Either way, it's our first close encounter with a goal in the match. You know that St. Louis is going to generate those moments. One of the top scoring teams in the league. 53 goals scored this season. And a good attack of their own. Houston Dynamo Dos still pushing forward. It's a lovely cutback pass. No one there to receive it though. It's just behind the streaking striker. There's Romero making the good run. Here's that opportunity again. Joshua Balma doesn't sit at the 6-yard line, instead keeps going forward, is right in front of the goalkeeper. The cutback pass from Romero, hoping that somebody was lurking there just a little bit deeper. Well done there from Makutuya. Who's been solid to start this game. And here they come again. Cutting pass, Romero. It's kept in bounds and then deflected. The whistle sounds, and the decision is it was actually a goal kick after it nearly crossed the goal line. It actually did cross the goal line. Interesting thing though right now for Houston Dynamo too. You'd think you'd be in these matches against teams that are in a similar position to you, racing to make the Western Conference playoffs, but I mean, they've been up against the best of the best in the table as of late, so they haven't experienced that playoff desperation intensity just yet in a game. But they're aware of how much these games count, and they're sure to feel that intensity going forward. Glover is offside. Ultimately, all you can do though as a team, especially on the outside looking in, is to take it one game at a time. Try to get as many positive results and then see if that's enough to get you in. Noah Betancourt rolls it to his left for Leo Guitao. Guitao steps inside. He curls it across. Claimed by the goalkeeper, Colin Welsh. Colin Welsh working with a good unit today in front of him. Now the first team is taking a couple of the guys. I mentioned Mekhi Joyner missing earlier, the leading goal scorer for St. Louis City 2. They certainly aren't lacking for firepower, though, in his absence. I also don't see Hasiel Orozco in the mix today. It is resulting in a couple of academy players being picked up from the bench, or picked up for the bench, I should say, as John Hackworth was telling me he didn't want to take too many of those guys because the academy season is getting going. And just as it feels bad when a second teamer gets taken by the first team and leaves you shorthanded, the same could be said about the second team taking from the academy. With that being said, a couple of academy faces on the bench here this evening. Eddie Niles, a good young player. Trip Clancy, a guy who John Hackworth said played great in his last 2 appearances. And Chavez falls into that conversation. You know, at least one of them will make their way into the game, if not several. We're going to need to make an impact in this match. Houston going to be tough to beat. Marcelo Santos telling me that this game against St. Louis provides somewhat similar challenge to the last game against the Town because it's an older opponent with some MLS guys in the mix. He felt that both times these teams met earlier in the season, he thought Houston, his side, played pretty well in those games, including, of course, the 1-0 result last time they met. It took until late in the match for Jääskeläinen to score a game winner. He was telling me the mentality for this week is to understand what they're going up against, but to not shy away. They're excited for the challenge. They're not scared of it. He mentioned his side has been very good responding after losses this season, a very resilient group. The biggest difference between last week and this week is they got to take care of their chances. Pierce rolls it into the 18. He's still fighting for it. Now Juan Kuzain feeds it to McSorley, and now it's dealt with. And you see John Hackworth, man in charge of the St. Louis City 2 team right now. His current title, co-interim sporting director, technical director, interim head coach of St. Louis City 2. He was adamant I called him by his official title at least once. To be fair, though, I don't think he even remembers the full title most of the time. Can you blame him? It's nearly a whole paragraph. Leo Guitao. Katuya returns the favor. Decides to take on his man, trying to wheel around McSorley. Takes some contact, good feed inside to Guitao. Guitao to the middle, and the shot fired. Saved by Colin Welsh. Eric Duenas with the opportunity from the penalty marker. A well-worked opportunity by Dynamo Dos. That first touch just getting away from Duenas. Couple of chances here for Houston. Here's the look from earlier. They've grown into this match. Well, that's lovely headed through. The ball is chipped up in the air by Barrett. And Cruz will claim it in the corner. Caden Glover making that run. Straight down the middle. Cruz has to do well here, right in front of his own goal. And he's composed. Rodriguez under some duress. And it falls back to Cruz once again. John Hackworth was under no illusion about the difficulty of this game. He knew it would be a challenge coming to SaberCat Stadium. He mentioned how hot and humid, of course, it was going to be. And on top of it, with the rain, that will affect the pitch conditions. And, oh yeah, by the way, Houston Dynamo 2, that's a pretty good unit that they're having to match up with. Talked about some of the creative, dynamic players that this side have and how they gave them trouble last time, as we previously discussed. Betancourt. He's got Viveros running to his right, and he'll play it ahead of him. Viveros, his cross, takes a glance, and it's out for a corner kick. It's hard to beat it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. And the first 2 meetings, of course, were won by St. Louis. First corner of the evening for Houston from the right corner flag. Geets out. Floats it back in. Easy to catch for Colin Welsh. So last game, they pressed like crazy for 90 minutes against Sporting Kansas City 2. That will not be the approach going into this game. John Hackworth saying that they'll have to be more pragmatic. They want to be analytical about their approach in this game, assess how this Houston team attacks them, and then adjust accordingly. It's another show of faith in the quality of this unit, that you have the ability to approach a game like that. You have smart enough players who can see what's being displayed on the pitch and can make adjustments, because you don't want to wait till halftime to make the appropriate tweaks. Kuzain lays it out to McSorley, back across the middle. And ultimately, it was a needed interjection from Daniel Barrett. At first it looked needless, but there was a streaking Mateo Kidd flying in from the left-hand side. McSorley's pass rolled so tantalizingly, and it will be a corner kick now. Juan Kuzain makes his way over to the left flag. Their first corner kick nearly counted as a goal. This one falls nicely. Played towards goal on the volley from Miguel Perez. And they'll have another crack at it. If anything, just trying to put it right into the corridor of uncertainty. If you're Miguel Perez, you play that ball into the forest, and who knows where it'll pinball. Habib Hushmand talking to some of the players right in the middle. Kuzain. Service falls in. One-time connection will fly away over top. Michael Wenzel, the first teamer, just not connecting with that one right. It'll be Nico Ramos to get this one started. I mentioned earlier, been a valuable addition to the team this year, the loanee. Yellow card will be given to Michael Wenzel.
Your attention, please.
I'll check that. That's Cam Seeley.
Yellow card caution at the 23rd minute for number 43 from St. Louis. Come, select.
That'll be his 4th yellow card of the season. Be on the lookout for Nico Ramos, as we're just talking about. 6'4", big target on these set pieces. Hasn't knocked one in yet. No time better than now. It'll be Joshua Balma to provide the service. It is a long way out. Headed along nicely, but no one could get the second piece of it. Talking about Nico Ramos, though. Brings a certain level of experience that the rest of this back line is lacking a little bit. Solo Santos telling me that he's a guy who brings that communication, holds a high standard of play. And of course, with inexperience around him, it counts twofold. Romero now pushing forward. Holds it to his right for Duenas. And they'll get another corner kick out of it. Another chance for Ramos to step up. Intelligent player on top of that. Just brings a level of expertise that is always handy to have along a back line. You can see the tall number 5 waiting around the penalty area. It'll be Balma on the service once again. That one looks good, and it is good. Dynamo Dos are on the board. Tomas Romero with the flick towards goal, notching his 2nd of the season. The home side take the lead. Landing the first punch and letting the St. Louis City team know Houston isn't messing around. Tomas Romero with his 2nd goal of the season. One of the few loanees on this team from Club Atletico Union 2. The Argentine puts his team ahead courtesy of the service from Josh Balma, who logs his first assist of the year. Now, how does the visitors respond to this?
Your attention, please. Goal scored, minute 25, by number 10, Tomas Romero.
St. Louis CITY2 this season. Haven't lost that many games, just 5 of them on the year. During this win streak, it's been a hot minute since this team has trailed in a game. You have to go back to the match against Ventura County, July 16th, so over a month ago. That game would end up 1-1. They'd win in penalties. Full-on body check there. Cam Seeley, got to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. And the last thing you want now after conceding is to then see someone sent off. Kuzain plays it up ahead for Glover. Glover chasing it down, earning the corner kick. So the ball has hit the back of the net twice in this game, both of which from corner kicks, of course, the offside flag negating the goal scored by St. Louis. But perhaps they can recreate some of that magic. It seems to be, well, there is some sauce in this game so far. Miguel Perez, low driver. Not sure if that was how he wanted that ball to leave his feet. We'll get another crack at it. Take two for Miguel Perez. That one came off better, and it's into the back of the net. A sliding extra effort levels this game quickly. Gabriel McKenna, the captain, with a heroic second touch. It was going wide off the head of Brendan McSorley. But the center back, McKenna, flying in, knocks it home. All right, folks. Well, anytime there's a set piece, especially a corner kick, you need to lean forward and tune in. McKenna with his third goal of the season. Brendan McSorley with the initial header gets his 8th assist. He now has 16 goal contributions on the year. 8 goals, 8 assists for Brendan McSorley.
Number 80, Brendan McSorley.
And there's the answer that St. Louis City would be looking for after going down a goal. An immediate response. Scored just 4 minutes after Romero gave his side the lead. And I think that's just another moment where the St. Louis City team really shows how special they are. John Hackworth had nothing but good things to say about his group after that last game against Sporting Kansas City 2. He was telling me that this group is becoming a really good team. Going into that game against Sporting Kansas City 2, you know that you're hearing the noise about how it's the top team in the conference against maybe the worst team in the standings, or certainly the worst team in the standings, but maybe the worst team in the league in MLS Next Pro. And then your coach tells you to press all game, making the matchup seemingly more difficult. They didn't bat an eye, they did it. And that speaks to the commitment of the group. And today, an immediate response after going down is another symbol of a strong team that doesn't get rattled. Like I said, it's been over a month since they've trailed in a game, but had no issue finding an answer. It's gonna take a special effort to knock off the St. Louis City 2 side. Glover running this one down, but a much needed poke from Ramos. Kuzain, that one straight off the face of Rodriguez. Sebastian Rodriguez back from injury. Not a comfortable interaction, but we'll take it. Lovely from McSorley. Turning is Perez. Trying to square it. Now to receive. Sealy lofts in the cross. Ramos flips it away. Pressure from Kuzain, claimed by Cruz. And after going up a goal and quickly seeing that lead evaporate, what can Houston do as an answer to conceding. Makina goes down. He's helped up by Tomas Romero, already on a yellow card, with acknowledging. And he's reminded by our head official. Houston excited for the challenge that this game provides, but Marcelo Sanchez telling me they're pretty excited for every single game because they want to beat every team, whether they're above or below them in the standings. I mentioned, sure, they offer a tough matchup, but they believe we could beat anybody in the league. And no matter what the standings show prior to the match, a game is not earned before it starts. It's about the performance on the day. He had the utmost confidence in his group to get it done. 14 teams have tried, and 14 teams in a row have not been able to get all 3 points against St. Louis City 2. An MLS Next Pro record. This goes to show how good this St. Louis team has been during the stretch of the season. They have not made it easy for their opposition, that's for certain. Sealy lofting it ahead to McSorley. Makatuya. It's a bit awkward, but he manages the situation well. Kuzain rolls it to McSorley, and Ramos steps in. A rude intervention from the center back. Here's Mateo Kidd. Kidd sends it over to the right-hand side nicely. Kuzain with a long touch. Kuzain couldn't bend it enough. A good find there from Mateo Kidd. Kuzain was wide open on the far side. Kidd getting the start last game. So many complimentary things levied his way by John Hackworth, mentioning he put in so much work in that game against Kansas City. Created so many chances, kind of like that moment there. And also pressed like crazy. Kuzain rolls it for Mateo Kidd. Kidd enters the penalty area. Quickly fires, warrants a save from Pedro Cruz. Man's 27 years old. He plays with a youthful energy, Mateo Kidd. Always darting around the pitch. His efforts requiring some handiwork from Pedro Cruz and earning a corner kick for the visitors. 1-1 your scoreline here. Both corner kicks gold, or both goals scored off of corner kicks. Perez heads it back into the fray. Guitao. Taking it forward, Leo Guitao. And some contact away from the ball. And now some tensions blazing over after the whistle. Makina and Romero still exchanging words. Tomas Romero on a yellow card. Look at the top of your screen. So Duenas starts that with a shove on Makina. You see Rodriguez, Duenas, and Anchue talking to our head official. Corner kick goal scored by both sides within 4 minutes of each other. It has been a chippy game, to say the least, here at SaberCat Stadium. Match with a lot of intensity.
Best actor goes to St. Louis.
Cam Seeley talking to the assistant over on the far sideline. He wants the 10 yards. Duenas, who was just a part of that previous interaction, the shove on Makina, taking his precious time to backtrack. Certainly testy right now. Five more minutes to go here in the first half. Tomas Romero, his name has been said a lot in this game, but he scored the opening goal in the match. He also has a yellow card and a couple other fouls to boot. Add in a chirp or two to the opposing team. He's been a busy man, but so is Gabriel Makina, scoring his third goal of the season. Off the corner kick, Brennan McSorley redirected it closer to goal, but not quite to goal. The captain had to slide in to ping it, give his side the leveling goal. Romero, once again, guilty of a foul. And you know that the bench is going to be calling for how active Romero has been in this game. We've been keeping count. 5 fouls in this one already for Tomas Romero. If I'm Marcelo Santos, I'm shouting to cool it off and get yourself to halftime without getting sent out of this game. It has been emotional here in the first 45 minutes. I think both sides will appreciate the chance to cool off here at halftime. And a lot of talking, a lot of physicality. Anchue plays it to the captain. Sorely able to poke it ahead. Now Tyson Pierce. Yeah, this one is getting out of hand here. Sebastian Rodriguez, the captain for Dynamo Dos, goes into the books, his 8th yellow card of the season.
Your attention, please.
Every call being vehemently challenged. Every restart intervened by the other team. It's choppy. It's a little grimy. Both these teams, one thing you can't argue is how serious they are about the match. Game where St. Louis City 2 have already clinched their spot in the playoffs. Of course, they like to tidy up the #1 overall spot. They have a 10-point gap between them and second place, though, so got a lot of margin for error as McSorley serves it up on the left-hand side. Kuzain couldn't connect. Kid's there. Now Glover. It's poked out of play for a corner kick. St. Louis City 2 gone hunting again. Juan Kuzain wanted all of that one. Although he wasn't able to convert from the cross, he'll now be the one to provide the service. Kuzain sends it in. Falls to Perez. He'll have another go at it. Blocked by Romero. Counterattack triggered for Dynamo Dos. Guitao turning on the burners. Leo Guitao lays it up ahead. He's knocked over. And another yellow card brandished. Gabriel McKenna, the captain for St. Louis City 2, now in the books.
Your attention, please, at the 45th minute. Yellow card caution has been.
So for those who have been trying to keep track at home, McKenna, Cam Seeley, Tomas Romero, and Sebastian Rodriguez all on yellow cards in the first half. Both captains on yellow cards. And also both goal scorers on yellow cards. We now cross the 45-minute threshold. Just one more minute being tacked on. Gotta be honest, it's actually less than I anticipated, but perhaps this officiating crew trying to get this game to break as soon as they can. Bulma bends it in, headed along. Effectively cleared away by St. Louis. About 30 more seconds to go. Houston being hurried to restart. I'd like one more crack at this before the whistle sounds. Unless St. Louis are hurried here, this may be where the half concludes. That'll wrap things up after 45 minutes. 1-1 your scoreline in a match that has copious amounts of edge. Houston Dynamo 2 and St. Louis City 2 in a bit of a brawl here at SaberCat Stadium. Coming up, highlights, stats, and a feel-good story from FC Dallas you will not want to miss. So stay with us here on the live stream on MLSNextPro.com.
MLS debutant Kevin Sullivan.
Luna.
Yes! That is a banger! Absolute scorcher! Spectacular save from Dane St. Clair.
Action. Este verano la Leagues Cup regresa más fuerte que nunca. Comenzamos con 36 clubes. En la primera fase, cada equipo jugará contra 3 equipos de la liga rival para determinar su posición en la fase de eliminación directa.
The 4 top-seeded clubs from each league will move on, ensuring interleague matchups all the way through the quarterfinals.
3 naciones, 2 ligas y un solo campeón. En Leagues Cup 2025,
It's dominance on the line.
We welcome you back here to halftime at SaberCat Stadium. Let's look ahead to the upcoming MLS Next Pro schedule. Mark Jones with you here on the broadcast. This is what is slated to come in the middle of the week into next weekend. Actually a pretty loose weekend, MLS Next Pro, but still some very important games in here as September, the last full month that all these teams will be playing in the regular season. So every single result is so crucial, so important. In the West, obviously, it is super heated and close for who makes it. Coming up, a story out of Dallas about saving a life. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back after this.
My vibe.
Lionel Messi! Who else? The youngest MLS debutant, Kevin Sullivan.
Luna.
Yes! That is a banger! Absolute scorcher! Spectacular save from Dane St. Clair.
Action.
We're back here for halftime. Some wonderful views of downtown Houston, and we've got a wonderful story here for you. Sports, and specifically soccer, can inspire us in many ways. We want to introduce you to a very inspiring person out in Dallas, Sean McGinty.
For FC Dallas team administrator Sean McGinty, soccer is more than a game. It's a platform for connection, for purpose, and for life-saving action.
My name is Sean McGinty. I am the player relations coordinator at FC Dallas. I started out as an intern actually with North Texas when I first got here, and then after about a month or two I got bumped up to the NTSC team administrator, and I've been working as the administrator for the last 2 years. And then following the 2024 season with NTSC, I got moved up to the player relations coordinator here at FC Dallas.
Raised by a professional goalkeeper and a pioneering orthopedic surgeon, Sean grew up at the intersection of passion and perseverance. But life threw its first challenge before he even left the hospital.
Sean is my first child, and he was born with actually a congenital malformation of his gut, his large intestine, and so not known pre or anything like that, and he had to have a pretty major surgery within a week after being born. He had to have multiple surgeries in his first 3 years of life, where we were in and out of the hospital a lot. His goal in life was to get up and move and to play something. And he really, honestly, has maintained that amazing ability to just kind of get up and bounce back and do things.
That same drive took him to the pitch at UNC Asheville after his time at St. Louis University, where soccer became a means of connection and a source of something even bigger.
Sean was a teammate of mine going back for a few years at UNC Asheville. Sean's a dope dude. I mean, that's the best way to boil it down. Really great guy to be with on and off the pitch. Really bright too. I mean, I think he speaks like 4 or 5 languages. And as a footballer, I mean, he was just tenacious. I mean, he's kind of everything you wanted in a center back, not afraid to dive into a challenge and a workhorse. So great guy to know on and off the pitch.
Inspired by a cause to help blood cancer patients find life-saving stem cell donors, Taylor and Sean spearheaded a campus-wide effort. It would eventually save a life.
In grad school, I was introduced to a teammate of mine whose mother was dealing with a very rare form of cancer, and they were looking for stem cell donations or potential bone marrow donations for his mom, and that's when I signed up originally to be a part of the registry.
I was really, really proud of him. I think that a lot of people can be a little scared that, like, well, maybe this will be painful.
Having Sean donate was just really awesome. It meant a lot to see how Sean was invested in the cause and also how much it meant to him. I think a lot of our guys, when they signed up, you know, they do the cheek swab and fill out the form. They're like, yeah, I want to help, but things change when you get that call saying, like, you're a match. The process you're going through, quite literally giving a part of yourself to somebody else. And that, I think, really strikes home at a deeper level. And to see one of my friends and teammates be able to go through that experience was really, just really awesome.
What Sean didn't know at the time was the story of the man whose life he would help save.
I feel like it's not every day that you get to say that, like, hey, I potentially saved a life or did save a life. I don't really know if there are words to kind of put into, like, how that makes someone feel. Like, I feel really happy and I feel really good that I was able to impact someone's life.
It means the world to me, but he's always been that way. It's always been really who he is, and he's a humble person.
Through the National Marrow Donor Program, Sean was able to connect with the recipient of his donation.
We communicated through, the company had someone kind of mediate between us both to get, like, contact information. I wasn't allowed to, I wasn't given his name and I wasn't given like a phone number or anything like that, but he wrote a letter that was forwarded on to me from Be the Match for him to, like, be able to participate and, like, do more things, because I found out, like, he's a married man, he's got 2 daughters. Like, him being able to have more time with his kids, it made me feel a lot better and really excited that he's in a year of remission and things are looking good for him.
Just is a blessing that he was able to really just extend that same gift that we have to another family so that they can have that as well, is just awesome in the true sense of the word.
I remember there was a point, like, when my mom was, like, really, really sick and we didn't know if it was going to progress so bad that she would be disabled permanently, if she was not going to be able to, like, go to work again. Like, we were really nervous at one point. So I know, like, having that feeling for someone else, I can only imagine how his kids were feeling or how his wife was feeling.
Every person in the registry is a light in the dark for someone. Sean McGinty became that light.
It's at no real cost to you, because not only will they pay for everything, but, like, there's no health risks really to it. They give you the stuff so you overproduce stem cells to minimize the effects for you. They really cater to your needs to make sure that you're okay, while also making sure that someone else has the possibility to be okay. So I think it's a no-brainer for me. I think you should totally do it.
We're on this earth to kind of figure out who we are, what our place is, and honestly, it's to just to grow as humans and make connections and try to make the place a little bit better than it was when we got here. And doing something to help one person changes a whole world.
Yeah, I know I'm really attractive. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. The jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You
action.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Este verano la Leagues Cup regresa más fuerte que nunca. Comenzamos con 36 clubes. En la primera fase, cada equipo jugará contra 3 equipos de la liga rival para determinar su posición en la fase de eliminación directa.
The 4 top-seeded clubs from each league will move on, ensuring interleague matchups all the way through the quarterfinals.
3 naciones, 2 ligas y un solo campeón. En Leagues Cup 2025,
it's dominance on the line.
We return back to SaberCat Stadium where the scoreline is 1-1 after 45 minutes. It was a real testy first 45 minutes of action here on the MLS Next Pro.com live stream. Mark Schoenster, happy to take you through what took place in the first 45 as we prepare for the second half of action. A couple of good chances early on in this game for both units, both asking some good questions. Houston Dynamo Dos took the first few punches and then started delivering their own opportunities of pretty decent quality. Pretty good first half from Isaac Makutuya, with a combination with Guitao here, was able to create a really good chance to Dueñas, whose first touch just lets him down. He has to slide to try to connect there. Ends up being saved by Colin Welsh. Then on the other end, opportunities brewing for the visitors, trying to keep their 14-game unbeaten streak alive. But the team to strike first, Tomas Romero in Dynamo Dos, flips the header towards goal. And although Colin Welch got a piece of it, it still goes into the side netting. Just 4 minutes later, though, the response, sliding to the rescue, Gabriel McKenna cleaning it up after McSorley got the first piece of it. Both sides getting ready for the second half, and while we're waiting, here's what's coming up this next week in MLS Next Pro action. Couple of good games here worth tuning into. Minnesota United FC and Austin FC 2 on Friday. A pretty big game in the Western Conference final race. You can see a very bad man is getting ready to sub into the match for St. Louis City 2, Emil Jaskalainen. It's going to be a very interesting substitution. So, although it's not too surprising to see Michael Wenzel subbing out of the game as a first-teamer, potentially just on a minute restriction, but he's the one coming out for Emil Jaskalainen, certainly not a like-for-like change. So Wenzel will make way for another striker. Perhaps shifting to a 3-back system now for John Hackworth's side. Emil Jaskalainen scored the game-winning goal the last time these two teams met. Scored in the 85th minute. Was able to set the crowd ablaze in that one. Maybe he'll be able to create a similar moment here on the road. He will not be welcomed with the same kind of energy if he does that. That'll be the only substitution between these two teams. So 21 of the 22 players return to the pitch for the second half. Emil Jaskalainen is the one change to the fray. It was an edgy first half. It was chippy, physical, emotional. Let's see what we have in store for us in the second half. Usually, the second 45 is the half that's more rambunctious, as you could very well imagine and ascertain, but we'll see if the dial goes up or down here. And dragging down the first foul, Caden Glover. putting a hand on the shoulder. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster. Excited to be presenting this one to you. Every game so crucial for Houston Dynamo 2 at this point in the year. Meanwhile, St. Louis City 2, every step is just an inch closer to clinching the top spot. They've got a 10-point gap between them and second place in the standings. Colorado Rapids 2 and the Town both at 45 points to St. Louis City's current 55 points. Meanwhile, Houston Dynamo 2 sitting on 30 points, which would keep them 2 points behind the playoff line. They need this more than St. Louis City 2 need it. Sealy playing it up the pitch, and although it's kept in bounds, Dynamo 2 take over. Guitao streaking inside. A parried effort from Welsh. She's able to track down the deflection. By the way it looks, we're going to get a pretty similar second half to that of the first half. Some good chances created already. Some physicality demonstrated. Viewers at home getting a treat here. Wakatuya to Betancourt. He'll roll it to Duenas. Betancourt will run to his right. And now receive the ball just outside the penalty area. It was double teamed and it proved too difficult for the midfielder to handle. Rodriguez. And return it to the left for Guitao. Guitao, 17 years old. A shifty player on the ball. Cross sent in, headed down. And ultimately easy for Welsh to handle. Well, made it really dangerous if Romero could have picked up the headed ball, but Welsh was there first. Duenas with some pressure on the pass, wins it back. Duenas, the cross, headed down, saved by Welsh. The goalkeeper being called early and often here in the second half. Just a telegraph pass from Sealy. Duenas reads it nicely and then sends in a great ball. Leo Guitao tried to pick out the bottom right corner, but Colin Welsh ready for it. And now a corner kick for Houston. Both goals scored off of corners in the first half. Bulma's ball dips down. And it goes right back out. And it'll be a goal kick. An exciting opening window here in the second half. Houston Dynamo 2. With a flurry of moments. But Colin Welsh ready for each and every opportunity thus far. Caden Glover will tap it outside. And that'll ricochet out for a St. Louis throw. So I mentioned how this game means more to Houston than it does to St. Louis, and ultimately that's going to be how it is for the rest of the season for the St. Louis City 2 side. every team they play from this point on will be sides that are playoff hungry. When you look at the last 4 games they'll play this season, we've got 3 teams that are right in the thick of the race, with Minnesota United 2, LAFC 2, as that shot blazes wide. And then Portland Timbers 2. And then Austin FC 2 also in that slate for the rest of this season, but they're a little bit above the real bloodbath that's happening right now in the Western Conference, but that just means they're a better team overall. So a lot of big tests for the St. Louis side going into the postseason, and that's exactly how John Hackworth wants it. He said it himself. Some really good teams are going to come at us, and we won't have the pressure. He's especially happy that some of the younger players on the roster will get this opportunity because they need to learn how to win games. Obviously, at this level and at the levels below Next Pro, the primary objective is for player development. But John Hackworth is a staunch believer in winning games is development. Learning how to win matches is crucial to a player. You can develop technically and cerebrally as you want. If that's even a word, cerebrally. In the game intelligence aspect of the game. But you also got to know how to win matches, because that's not the same thing as game intelligence or as technical gift. Jaskolainen plays it nicely. Glover across the middle. Mateo Kidd returns the favor, and the follow-through is good. Caden Glover blasts it home. And St. Louis City 2 take the lead. Thought for a moment maybe it was one pass too many from Mateo Kidd. Look how much space he has. He opts to give it up to Juan Kuzain. Luckily, his shot was good enough to cause spillage for the goalkeeper, and Caden Glover was lurking. His 3rd goal of the season. And the juggernauts of the West have the advantage on the road.
Your attention please, in the 54th minute. Goal scored by Silence number 46.
So after a really positive opening stretch to this half for Houston, the first chance St. Louis gets on the other side, they are unforgiving. Not a bad ball, but no one was ready to receive it for Houston. 2 different players in the vicinity. Kidd's taken down, and Juan Viveros will go into the books. And that cuts back to the thin margins that playing against these top teams provides. Houston experienced it last week against the Town, and they're seeing it again here right now against St. Louis. You have to put away the chances you create.
Your attention please. The 55th minute yellow card caution has been issued to Houston Dynamo number 8.
So the question now is, can they keep up the positivity they had prior to the goal conceded? It'll be the goalkeeper, Colin Welsh, will trot his way up to this dead ball. As long as he doesn't make a mess of it, it shouldn't be dangerous for him to do so. Emergency ejection on the clearance. Ultimately, it works out for St. Louis. Not a lot going for them there after the ball was sent in that direction by Mateo Kidd. Nicely done. Romero leaving it for Duenas. Now Tomas Romero racing for it. It's him and McKenna who are fighting for the ball there, both on yellow cards. Both goal scorers in this game. Tomas Romero, who is a very busy man in the first half, a goal scored, a yellow card, and quite a few fouls to his name. Good show of trust, though, from Houston Dynamo Dos to keep him in the match, though, after halftime. Guitao taking off the ball there. First change of the evening for Marcelo Santos is getting ready. Rodriguez out to Guitao. Leo Guitao with some room in front of him. Tried to send it into the middle, and it will be a corner kick instead. And Guitao goes down after that fact. And the training staff will be waved on. Leo Guitao, the 17-year-old academy kid, has shown some danger on that left-hand side. So while we have this stoppage in play, here's a look at the goals scored. Tomas Romero, the first one on the board. One corner kick goal in this match. Not to be outdone from the set piece. 4 minutes later, it'll be McSorley flipping it along. Was going for that bottom left post. Didn't quite get it on target, but McKenna there to back him up. Then in the second half, Mateo Kidd, unselfish, lays it off. And then the rebound goal from Glover makes it 2-1 in favor of the visitors. As Leo Guitao is still down on the ground. Really hate to see this. The youngster, his 17th appearance of the season. And so we will get 2 substitutions. They'll be readying themselves for Marcelo Santos. Steven Anor Gemfi will step on for Houston's 1 goal scorer, Tomas Romero. And as you would expect, Matteo Di Morelli will sub in for Leo Guitao. So Di Morelli will check in. It's 3-3 for 4-4. And hopefully Guitao hasn't picked up anything too serious. Corner kick now for Houston. It'll be Josh Boma who will provide the cross. Boma's service looks good. Headed out. And another corner kick. Reload and refire for Houston. Welsh couldn't catch it, but he's able to carry it along. Wakatuya. Duenas. Back to Wakatuya. Duenas. Throwing it in deep for Juan Viveros. They back up the pitch and it'll roll out for a goal kick. So with Matteo Di Morelli subbing into the game, both him and Daniel Barrett are on the pitch, and they both have been called up to join the U17 youth national team for the United States in September for the September Identity Training Camp in Georgia. And although not with the U.S. youth national team, David Garcia for Houston, also on international duty, being called to some country of Venezuela for the U17 national team. They've got some friendlies with Honduras and Panama. So this Houston Academy developing some special talents as McSorley serves it in. Nobody around. Appeals for what I believe we're hoping would be a handball. Nothing will be called though. Sealy squares it to McKenna. He sends in the cross. Ball down by Jaskalainen. Second effort, well off target, and Juan Kuzain frustrated with his connection. Wonderfully done from Jaskalainen, and then a couple of missed efforts at the top of the 18 and just beyond the 18. That'll be Tyson Pierce to restart things. Throw it to the byline. It's escorted out by Viveros. Two-1 your scoreline. A pair of corner kick goals in the first half made it 1-1. But a lovely all-hands-on-deck goal from St. Louis CITY2 has given them the lead here in the second half. Welsh will have us by the byline. Nor Gemfeet with some heated pressure. And they're gonna call him for the contact with Welsh.
Your attention please, the 64th minute. Yellow card caution has been issued to Houston Dynamo player number 9.
So Stephen Nor Gemfeet will be given a yellow card for this transaction, stepping in on the clearance from Colin Welsh. His third yellow of the season. Nor Gemfeet. A leading touch that went too far ahead of him. Busy, busy day of MLS Next Pro soccer across the country. Some wild ones today, including the game that ended 7-4. New York Red Bulls 2, victorious over Columbus Crew 2. Talk about a scoreline there. Philadelphia Union 2 looking to secure 3 points against FC Cincinnati 2. Both sides near the top of the Eastern Conference standings. And that's just two games I've picked out of the plethora of games. One thing worth noting, coming into the weekend, was Philadelphia Union 2 and St. Louis City 2 tied for the league lead in clean sheets this year with 8 of them. When I asked Coach John Hackworth about how well this defensive unit has been doing this season after getting the clean sheet last game against Sporting Kansas City 2, he heaped a lot of praise onto McKenna, Tyson Pierce, and Cam Seeley, who have been consistent anchors on that back line all season long. Well, I won't get a clean sheet today. They've been able to handle most things going their way in this match. So with those guys consistently back there holding a high standard, and then each goalkeeper has had the chance to play between the pipes, has made some big saves to also contribute. And that's not to just put the praise on those 3 players and then whoever's in goal, but I'd say that's where the majority of it has been. But in general, there's been a high standard defensively for this side this season. Viveros launches it in. Mateo Kidd slow to get up after the whistle. But St. Louis will quickly restart. One thing that needs to be acknowledged is that standard for St. Louis City 2, that is applied to anybody who laces up and puts on the St. Louis City 2 jersey, and that includes the first teamers, because it can be tricky when you're shuffling in players, especially from the first team that aren't with the guys for a lot of the season. But something John Hackworth said, and I'm sure Michael Wenzel, who is one of those first teamers getting the chance to play today, is that the standard is really high for this second team, and being an MLS player does not exempt you from that standard, as a free kick is awarded in a dangerous spot for St. Louis City 2. So now a free kick just outside the penalty area on the docket for the visitors. Interesting vantage point to attack from. Keep an eye on Tyson Pierce camping outside the penalty area. You also may see one of the 2 players behind the dead ball tap it a direction to change the angle on goal. Here comes the service, and it's fumbled, but caught before it crossed the goal line. Pedro Cruz mishandles it on first contact, but he recovers and cranes it in before it breaks the line. He'll keep his team in it. Here's the other end, a breakthrough! Houston Dynamo 2 respond, one end to the other. A valiant goal. Headed along by Anor Jemfi, and Joshua Balma takes it the rest of the way. Cruz to Jemfi to Boma. We're level. And boy, does that save from Pedro Cruz just moments earlier become all that more important. All locked up at 2 apiece at SaberCat Stadium.
The 70th minute, number 14, Josh Pullman.
Now DiMorelli. He'll cut inside. Sends a curling ball, headed away by McKenna. Rodriguez parries it out wide to Viveros. Chipped ball will fall on the roof of the net. Back and forth this game has gone. Both teams have taken the lead at 1 point. And now we're level at 2 apiece with just under 20 minutes to go. This game had some promise going into it, and it has delivered. Pierce to Kidd. Mateo Kidd switches the point of attack to McSorley. A little too much float on the ball. Joshua Bolma, a guy who has previous playing experience with Marcelo Santos in New England. Pedro Cruz slow to get up. Seems to be pointing to his back. Hope the Brazilian goalkeeper's all right. Roman Karimov is the backup goalkeeper for Houston Dynamo 2. With over 15 minutes to go in this one, both sides get a chance to take a breather while Cruz gets tended to. All the orange jerseys huddled around their goalkeeper, who's been such a stalwart this season. Saving at a great clip, 73%. Very good for the sport. And he's faced quite a few shots this season. Pedro Cruz has been ready for what's been thrown his way. Now he's back up. While Houston Dynamo 2 are supporting their goalkeeper, a chance for some of the coaching staff to talk to the visitors. And maybe an X factor getting ready to sub into the match.
Your attention, please, at the 75th minute.
So Eric Dueñas will take leave, and in comes Nelson Quinones, a first-teamer who is making his way back from a knee injury that kept him out all of 2024. Went down in a Colombian U23 matchup and is working on his return. So a pivotal moment for Quinones as he makes a professional appearance for the first time in over a year. Let's see what kind of impact the forward can have on this match. Glover wins a deep throw in. Our last goal scorer in the game, Joshua Bolma, as I was talking about earlier, played with Marcelo Santos' tutelage with New England Revolution 2. He's excited for what Bolma is going to bring to this unit this season. Feels their play style similar to the way that New England Revolution 2 play, especially that 2023 Revs 2 team, which was Bolma's best year. Brings a maturity, a flexibility to this unit, so we can get plugged in a lot of different positions, which is very helpful when, of course, you've got a young team with guys that may only be familiar with playing one spot or another, and with the way availability can change and shake up throughout an MLS Next Pro season, a guy like Bolma is invaluable. He has really had a good season, and despite having to play a bit of flex for this team, has now got 3 goals and an assist on the season. Entree's ball nearly trickles all the way through, but Makutuya able to not only bring the ball in, but best his man. Long ball looking for an Gem feet. Not on the same page. He veered away from the pass. Sealy plays it over to Pierce. Tyson Pierce along the touchline. Plays it ahead for Kidd. Barrett quickly closed down that space, but Kidd shakes by him. Settled nicely by McSorley. Perez with the service. Caught with the fingertips by Pedro Cruz. Floated up for Jaskalainen. That distribution left something to be desired. 2 more changes incoming for the visiting side. Lucas Dimitra step on for Caden Glover. And then one of the academy kids, Emiliano Chavez, will sub into the game for Miguel Perez.
Also, leaving the field, number 28, Miguel Perez. Coming into the field, number 79, Emiliano Chavez.
2 more changes for St. Louis. Tyson Pierce throws it down the field. Quinones rolls it up ahead for DiMorelli. Matteo DiMorelli. Roll it to his left. Quinones working on Pierce. Tried to chop that one through, but got stuck in his legs. Rodriguez, good find. Played out to Viveros. His service, too close to goal. Caught by Welsh. Tyson Pierce, lovely long ball. And it requires Pedro Cruz to get out of his penalty area and knock that one away. No nonsense. Sure, some unkind words being exchanged there with Pedro Cruz, and I believe that's Jaskalainen, and it is. Cam Sealy. That's Chavez to his left, but he'll roll it to his right to Kuzain. 10 more minutes plus stoppage time to go. It's been exciting between these two sides. Gotten a good blend of great footy, some intensity, physicality. Both sides showing a lot of hunger for a result here. Dimitra double teamed, his ways were closed off, but Boma couldn't go anywhere with it. Dimitra recovering nicely there. Goal scored both sides in the first half by a corner kick. And 2 breakaway goals scored in the second half. Each team has had the lead. Each team been able to come back from trailing. Barrett was able to absorb a lot of pressure there from Chavez, and it ended up being too much pressure. Game that up to this point, I would say, has been an earned tied scoreline, but with how competitive it's been, you would love to see a team find a winner here. It's had that playoff intensity. I'd love for it to be determined on the pitch who will come out victorious. Steven Anor-Gemfeet, one of the substitutes here in the second half, on his knees currently. Cam Sealy drives forward, plays to Antwi. He has to dive to keep possession for his side. Now Pierce being dealt with fervently by Quinones. In a hot minute, Quinones has been able to play in a professional match. Now he's gonna bring the energy as he works himself back up to match fitness. It's his fourth year with the club. Of course, didn't play at all last year, but across 2022 and 2023, 41 appearances and 4 goals with the first team. Rodriguez, a lofty pass to Di Morelli. Emiliano Chavez opts to just knock it out of play. Does open a window though for Houston. And send bodies down to the attacking third. Betancourt. Viveros releases the cross. No one awaiting it. An orange jersey. Dimitra along the right side. Ramos in front of him. Rolling ball, takes a deflection. Corner kick for St. Louis. Set pieces were the story in the first half. At least one of the stories. It was quite an eventful first half, just as it's been an eventful second half. Wade back onto the game. Steven Anor-Gemfeet will join the party right in front of the 6-yard box. Can they convert on another corner kick? Solely went up for it again. Boma misses that one. Kuzain fires. It spills loose. A much needed intervention from Barrett. But the offside flag goes up anyway. Looks like 2 white jerseys offside there. But still got to give credit to the defender for doing everything he could to knock that ball out of danger before that whistle sounded. Dimitra. Sprays it to the left-hand side for McSorley. He'll roll it to Chavez. Shui has Kuzain, that's where he goes with it. Kuzain, who's been behind many of these dead balls, will opt to take this one. Sitting close by, though, is Emiliano Chavez. Kuzain's service dips in, the header towards goal, over top. Three more minutes plus stoppage time to go here. Goal scored by Bolma, Glover, McKenna, and Romero. Two of our goal scorers have been subbed out of the game at this point. McKenna and Bolma still in the match, but Glover and Romero have made way for fresher legs. Jaskalainen laying it up ahead for Dimitra. Lucas Dimitra from the right channel, plays it across the center, and then booted away by Ramos. Makatuya will carry it forward. Played just too far ahead of Quinones. Neither side giving up on this match or settling for a draw. They both won all three. Di Morelli, a lot of white jerseys in front of him, but he does well there because Brandon McSorley just gets too physical. Restart played quickly. Quinones up against Pierce. Quinones still with it. They'll track it down and cut it up the pitch. Isaac Makutuya. There's Nelson Quinones cutting across horizontally. Houston Dynamo Dos laying siege here. The feed to Anor Jemfi, just too far ahead. And he was offside anyway.
Your attention, please. 90th minute substitution in San Luis.
We got a pair of changes. I mentioned a couple of the academy kids early on in the game, and now all three that I made note of will all be stepping into the match. So Trip Clancy will sub on for Mateo Kidd, and then the 14-year-old Eddie Niles will sub in, making his second ever appearance with the second team. He subs on for Juan Kuzain. So a huge opportunity for Chavez, Niles, and Clancy to sub into this game. It's been an intense matchup. I get to experience some of that playoff intensity.
Your attention, please.
6 more minutes added on. Ample time for a game winner.
6 minutes added into the second half. 6 minutes.
And which side is the more likely to do it is up for either side to take. Quinones up against Clancy. Just subbed into the match. And it came off of him last. And now a substitution for Houston. Juan Viveros will step off, and Jaden Puna, one of the academy kids for Houston, will step on, though he's accrued quite a few appearances this season, this being his 15th look. So a little less green than some of those St. Louis players that just stepped onto the pitch. Bolma. There's another throw. If this result holds, it'll be a 15th straight game unbeaten for St. Louis City 2. It's already an MLS Next Pro record at 14. Boma leads it to the right-hand side. DiMorelli with a spin. Matteo DiMorelli still going with it. Well dealt with by the visitors. Contact by Jaskalainen on Daniel Barrett. Means possession goes right back to the home team. The recent stretch has been from Dynamo Dos. DiMorelli with the cross. Still in the mix. And the whistle will cut that one to a close. Pierce with a long ball down the field, looking for Niles. They'll keep it in play. Antwi rolls it over to Chavez. McSorley lost his footing. Couldn't be kept in by Chavez. It's worth mentioning, during this unbeaten streak for St. Louis City 2, they've only drawn twice. And in both those draws, they won the penalty kick shootout. So they've not only been unbeaten for 14 games, but they have nearly won every single one of those matches. Just 2 points left on the table. Quinones. A little bit awkward between him and Ballman. Now Quinones shoots! Off target, but he had Colin Welsh worried. Nelson Quinones trying to return in dramatic style. Over halfway through the allotted 6 minutes. Tyson Pierce plays it up ahead to Dimitra. Here comes the service from Dimitra. Antwi picks up the pieces. McSorley rolling it out wide. Chavez didn't get there first, but the challenge from Betancourt will afford possession to St. Louis City 2. Here comes another service. Kept in by McSorley. Jaskalainen bodying off some contact. Antwi squares it to Sealy. Now Chavez. His service will float towards goal, caught by Cruz. If no one scores in the next minute, we will go to a penalty kick shootout to decide who wins the extra point. Here's Stephen Norgemfi, but coming in is Colin Welsh. And they're gonna call a foul on Stephen Norgemfi. I don't know how fair of a call that is on the striker. Colin Welsh came flying in to clear that one away. Let's look at it again. Yeah, I mean, he even is trying to get out of the way of the goalkeeper. I think that's a harsh call on the striker. And if anything, he's getting pushed by the defender who's with him. I mean, as a goalkeeper, you come out like that, you're putting your body on the line a little bit, and I hope Colin Welsh is all right. a situation where, yeah, you blow the play dead because you have a player injured, but I don't think a foul needs to be awarded there. That's two players going for the ball and leaving it all out there. We now crossed the 6-minute threshold. Of course, there was roughly half a minute or so left to go before that foul was called, so there may be one more sequence of events before the whistle is sounded. So it'll be a free kick for Colin Welsh. And maybe one more chance for St. Louis City 2 to take all 3 points. If not, we will go to penalties. See how much extra time Habib Hushman adds on to this game. And the full-time whistle is sounded. A yellow card will be issued right at the end, though. 2-2 your final score. A well-earned draw for both these sides. A well-played match between Houston Dynamo 2 and St. Louis City 2. But we do have a penalty kick shootout to decide who gets the extra point in this one. We'll step aside briefly as they set everything up for penalty kicks. We'll see you when that action kicks off.
Action.
At the end of regulation, since the teams are tied on the scoreboard, the match will extend to a shootout, with each team having 5 attempts. If the teams are tied after 5 attempts, they will go to sudden death. The shootout winner will receive an extra point in the regular season standings.
A point apiece has been earned by St. Louis City 2 and Houston Dynamo 2. It started off in the 25th minute with a corner kick goal scored by Tomas Romero. But just 4 minutes later, the captain, Gabriel McKenna, slides in to equalize 1-1 in the first half. Then, in the second half of action, after an early barrage from Houston, the counterattack response from St. Louis City 2. Glover picks up the pieces and blasts it home to make it 2-1 to the visitors. But then Cruz to a Norgemfi, and then Joshua Beaumont carries it a couple steps and then slides it home to make it 2-2. Both sides would get some opportunities after that fact, but neither could break through. So that is how we make it to here. 2-2 your final score. Both teams earn a point. Now it's just about an extra point to be claimed. Houston Dynamo 2 now up to 30 points, which puts them 2 behind the likes of Minnesota and LAFC 2, who are tied at 32 points, sitting at 8th and 9th. If they can win the penalty shootout, they jump up to 31 points, which ties them with North Texas. It just puts them a point behind the playoff line. Every single one of those numbers matters. This one so big for the home side, which ultimately makes the penalty kick shootout more difficult for them because St. Louis City 2 could go in with cooler heads, less stress. So much of the penalty kick shootout is just about the mental game. Because in a right state of mind, it is very easy to convert a penalty kick, but when you account for the rigor and turmoil your brain is going through emotionally, makes it a lot less guaranteed when you have to go up to the spot. So it appears that the captain, Gabriel McKenna, will start things off here. He scored the equalizing goal in the first half for his side. The two recurring actors in this one will be Pedro Cruz and Colin Welsh. Pedro Cruz, the winner of the goalie wars this year at the MLS All-Star Game. Colin Welsh, the 67th pick in the 2025 MLS Super Draft, will have his opportunity to shine here as well. But first off, it's Cruz versus McKenna. Let's see what the Canadian center back can do from the spot. McKenna's denied. Pedro Cruz closes the door. Just wasn't stretched far enough for the goalkeeper. Cruz gives some encouragement to Joshua Boma, another one of the goal scorers in this game, the most recent of them. And he can give the home side the advantage up against Colin Welsh, goalkeeper with 4 clean sheets this season in his now 11 starts. Boma stutters up and scores. Dynamo Dos with the edge. That's a little hop at the end, places it to the right side. And now Emil Jaskalainen will step to the plate. Disproportionate amount of holes on his 2 socks. He's one-on-one with Cruz. Jaskalainen skies it. Houston have the opportunity to really put themselves in the advantage. Emil Jaskalainen floats it over the crossbar. Houston 3-2 in penalty shootouts this season. Meanwhile, for St. Louis City 2, they have 3 shootout wins in their very few draws that they've acquired this season. Stephen Anor Gemfi. Slow run up, and it's saved. A huge denial from Colin Welsh to keep his team in it. Up to this point in the season, St. Louis City 2 unbeaten from the penalty marker. 3 for 3. And And now Cam Seeley will try to bring this one level. Seeley scores. So level on the scoreline, but Houston can still have the advantage if they convert. Nicely done from Seeley, a lot of pace. Close to the right post. And now stepping up is Nico Ramos. Born in Miami, but from Uruguay. A recent loanee for Houston Dynamo too. And Ramos parried away. Colin Welsh with another big stop. And now we're really on level terms. That's a big, big save from the 22-year-old goalkeeper. I'd say the toughest stop yet by either of these keepers in this one. This one just sneaks in. The academy kid, Emiliano Chavez. Bests Pedro Cruz. The goalkeeper oh so close to stopping it. But Emiliano Chavez, just enough pace to sneak it by the Brazilian. Now in steps Nelson Quinones, making his long-awaited return to the pitch. And for the first time in this penalty kick shootout, Houston need to find an answer or else they will be at disadvantage. Quinones converts just through the hand of Welsh. It was close, but it got the job done. Welsh got a piece of it, but not enough. And in comes Brandon McSorley. His second year with the club. Had 18 goal contributions last year, has 16 when you count his assist earlier today. Still 4 more games to go after this and the postseason. With the puff. McSorley gets it done. A missile to the bottom left corner. So the tally after 3 penalty kicks is 3 for St. Louis City 2. It's do or die for Dynamo Dos now. Sebastian Rodriguez returning to the fray after being hurt. Dons the captain's armband coming into the match, plays the full 90. Rodriguez steps up, and he scores. Sudden death going forward here in the penalty kick shootout. Houston Dynamo Dos in need of every single point they can claim. They can count on one hand how many games they have left, so it's oh so valuable for them to claim this extra point. But as a competitor, St. Louis City 2 aren't just gonna give it away. Missing their first 2 penalties. They didn't bat an eye. And now Seth Antwi, the Ghanaian, looks to keep the pressure on Houston. And Antwi swatted away by Cruz. So looks to be some miscommunication there for a moment. I think Pedro Cruz thought he was going to be called for stepping off his line. I think that's pretty close. You can see there for a moment, he thought they were going to have to redo. But now, Noah Betancourt has the chance to lock this one up for Houston Dynamo Dos. Can he claim the extra point? From Katy, Texas. Yes, sir! Houston Dynamo Dos, the first team to win a penalty kick shootout this year against St. Louis City 2. A vital extra point claim for the home side. And that's how this one will wrap up. 2-2, your final scoreline. What a match we had here this evening. Let's take a look at our man of the match for this evening's affair. And it's going to be that man that made some big saves here in the penalty kick shootout, Pedro Cruz. Also had some good stops during the run of play as well. There's a look at the penalty kick shootout saves. A big one there, but this one, huge. Extends his hand and swats it away for his side. And that is how this show will end. 2 points claimed by Houston Dynamo Dos. 2 valuable points for them as we reach the end of our broadcast for our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew. I'm Mark Schoenstert. Once again, our final score 2-2 with Dynamo Dos taking the extra point in penalty kicks. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.